Hello and welcome back to Bernama Today. You're with me, Tamina, and now of course I have with me His Excellency Rusdi Kirana, who is the Ambassador of Indonesia to Malaysia. So he's here to talk to us a little bit about Indonesia-Malaysia bilateral relations and everything that's been happening in Indonesia in the meanwhile. Your Excellency, welcome to the studio. How are you today?
I'm good. Thank you for having me today.
Right. So thank you for letting us know that you've been here almost exactly 1 year, Your Excellency. Now of course, let's start off with an update of the international news headlines. Lombok of course has been in the spotlight, and of course we Malaysians, we offer you our solidarity, especially for the population of Lombok, which has undergone such hard times in the aftermath of the earthquake. Can you tell us a little bit about the rehabilitation efforts happening in Lombok right now?
Firstly, thank you for all the support from the Malaysian government and Malaysian people. But as far as my understand, that we did the best already for all the people who live in Lombok, either the local or the foreigner. So what they need, we try to give them all the best we can do. Just for the foreigner, how they can go out from the island, we did that. Then for all the local, what they need, like the food, the shelter, the government Malaysia do that on the best way they can. That's
right. Now about 430,000 have been left homeless, and the death toll is creeping up closer towards 500. What does the Indonesian government hope that they could achieve as also some regional help or support? Or is the Indonesian government quite confident that they can handle the issue domestically?
Yeah. By now, we think that we can handle by ourselves. We thank you for the intention to support, but since we have the capability and the resources to support our people in Lombok, then we think that so far we can handle it.
Right. So of course, hopefully the series of aftershocks will stop, and also there are many other places by which tourists can also be going to. There is Bandung, there's Bali, Jakarta, but we'll get back to that question in a little while.
Thank you.
Let's talk a little bit first about Indonesia's recent Independence Day celebrations. How were the celebrations at the embassy in the mission in Malaysia?
Yeah, actually it's done in the ambassador residence, because we try to let the residents to be not the ambassador residence, but to be the house for us. The celebration is not only celebration, but it's to remind that after we working for 365 days, to remind that we are still one nation, to love our country, to work the best for our country, and to behave our whatever we do in this country in Malaysia, because we are not do anything here as our personal, but that is bringing the name of the country.
Absolutely.
So that is the meaning of the celebration.
So it's been 73 years since Indonesia achieved independence. Now also at the same time, we are also having the 18th Asian Games happening in Palembang. Have you and the embassy staff been tuning in? What sports are you most interested in?
For me, it's badminton.
Badminton, okay, wonderful. Okay, and I think everybody, not just in ASEAN, but worldwide, they were talking about and praising President Joko Widodo's entrance into the stadium during the opening ceremony for the 18th Asian Games. What impact are you hoping the 18th Asian Games will have for Indonesia while it is happening and also after it's over, especially considering that what is happening in Lombok is also at the same time? This shows a very united picture actually of what Indonesia is capable of under stress, but also under the spotlight at the same time.
Yeah, thank you. First thing that we have to not to make things like Lombok is too much until like the country is in the big disaster. We have the resources and capability to support them. Even though as what you say, in the same time we have to prepare the ASEAN Games.
That's right.
The ASEAN Games until today, it works well. For all the athletes, all the guests, everything, it works well. And we believe that until end of the ASEAN Games over, it will smooth and it will make a good impression for all the people who come to Indonesia. And we hope the ASEAN Games can make another foreign investor, tourism to come to the country. That the country is so beautiful, the people is kind, and hospitality is there. Because as what the President Jokowi said, that Indonesians have the DNA to be a good house for the foreigner, in either they want to invest or they come for a tourist.
That's right. So moving in from the question of tourism, let's talk a little bit about bilateral relations. Now, when we speak about trade, for example, hopefully Malaysia and Indonesia will be able to expand it beyond just palm oil and petroleum. Back in 2016, the shared bilateral trade volume was actually 13.8 billion USD between Malaysia and Indonesia. But that also means we have got a large proportion, almost 83% of all migrant workers in Malaysia are of Indonesian heritage. So are there any big questions about the well-being of these workers that you would like to bring up?
For me, like this, as an ambassador for 1 year, I'm not only in my office, but I went to other cities like Bintulu, Miri, Sibu, KK, and other states. Then I saw that these people, our people, work very hard and work very well to build the plantation or the factory. Directly or indirectly, it helped the Malaysian economy.
Absolutely. Migrant workers are the backbone of the construction as well as the palm and the other industries.
Yes. But when we were there, we saw that a lot of kids, the kids, either they were born in the plantation in Malaysia, or they were bring by the family. So, but why I say unfortunately, because they don't have place to study. With the good heart of the Sabah and Sarawak state, they give us to build a CLC, we call it. It's a community learning center. It's a small house in the plantation where the students is around 20 people and 20 to 30 kids.
Right.
And we send the teacher the books and they study on Indonesian curriculum. But what we expect from the Malaysian government to give them acknowledge that they study there. Because now they don't have acknowledgement.
There needs to be some kind of certification.
Yes. Certification or paper saying that they may study there. Because it's quite pity to see them when the stranger come to the plantation, they all run away, they hide. So when they see the stranger, they feel quite tense. So if there's an acknowledgement, then these kids can study there. We also, Indonesian government, I just get approval to build the vocational. So from the CLC, we will send them to the vocational school. We train them as what the Malaysian businessmen expect to have the what we call it, the employee. Just say the hotel need a chef, the hotel need how to repair the electric, how to do the operation of the machine. We train them. So these people also can, the kids also in the future can help.
Yes, they can have a career and professional direction.
Yes,
that's right.
If they want to go home, we are happy. Or they want to stay here, but they stay here in proper way, we are also happy. The thing is that the kids have the right to study.
Absolutely, children all around.
Yes, that is a human right. So we hope that they can get acknowledgement. I just met the KP of Immigration, Dato Sri Mustafa. I talked this one to KP. He also feel in his heart he wants to help. So he will bring this issue to the higher level. But in Peninsula, we don't have the CLC, not even one. And we have a lot of our people work in the plantation, and they also have the kids.
Absolutely.
We have to do something for the kids.
So thank you so much for also raising this very important issue, Your Excellency Kirana. Hopefully we have the open ears listening to us, as well as the authorities who are in place to actually have some change brought into place.
Thank you.
So you're definitely talking about the centers and also moving them into Peninsular Malaysia. Right. Now moving in from there into the topic of tourism, let's bring that back into focus. So Indonesia-wise, let's focus on the areas where Indonesia hopes to be growing more tourism interests as well.
Yeah. As what we believe in every country, that tourism is the easier and faster for the economy
That's
growth.
right.
Yeah. Including Malaysia, including Indonesia, and also other countries. So, but so far Malaysia only expect the Indonesia as a tourist. Also the other way around. Indonesia expect Malaysian to be the tourist. So, why don't we work together in these two countries? We try to expect the third countries. So just say coming from China, Korea, Japan.
That's right.
Either they only come to Jakarta, Indonesia, but we give them option to come to Malaysia. Or the other way around. They come to Malaysia, we give option to come to Jakarta. To Indonesia, I mean. Because these two countries is neighborhood. It's very easy to go, and it's quite in terms of cost is quite affordable. But
true.
for the tourists, they are happier to see two countries rather only one country. We have the same culture, we have the common ground the same, which actually is already a good start. But for the tourists, they can see also different, because we are not the same. We are almost the same, but we are not the same.
There are some unique characteristics.
Yes.
That's right. So I think definitely this is an excellent idea that you're pitching, some collaborative ecosystem for tourism. Where in particular would you like to see this done in Indonesia? Malaysia, of course, people love to come to Kuala Lumpur. There's Penang, and at a smaller on a smaller scale, you've got Kuching, perhaps Kota Kinabalu. What about Indonesia?
I did talk to the government of Indonesia, like Sulawesi Utara, Manado, where a lot of Chinese come to Manado, there because we have a lot of direct flight from China to Manado. So I say to him, why don't we work together with Chief Minister of Sabah, so we can make flight between Manado and Kinabalu.
Oh, wonderful! A connecting flight.
Yes. So the Chinese or the Taiwanese or the Korean, Japanese who come to Kinabalu, they can go back from Manado, or the other way around.
That's right.
So, and we can do the same thing with Medan, Penang. We can do the same thing like Kuala Lumpur, Jogja, or just say Johor Bahru, Bandung. We try to make a sister city.
And you also anticipate the demand. You create it rather than wait for people to say, okay, maybe we should go here and there. Suggest it to them. I like that.
And also not only that, our Ministry of Tourism, the two countries, can promote together to the country.
Yes, collaboratively, Ministry of Tourism Malaysia as well as Indonesia, right? That would be wonderful. Now let's speak a little bit about ecotourism, Your Excellency. Indonesia, just like Malaysia, has a rich wealth of forests, of mountain ranges, and increasingly tourists also want to be visiting these areas. Where in Indonesia do you hope this will be more exposed?
We have a lot. Bali for sure, but we have like Manado for diving. We have Raja Ampat also for diving. I see Kinabalu. I went there a few times. It's very beautiful. Infrastructure very beautiful. But Kinabalu don't have diving place.
That's right.
Manado have diving place. The infrastructure is not as good as Kinabalu, but they have the diving spot. So that's a lot of city we can do the twin city. In a way, the target is there to make the tourists feel worth it to come to Indonesia and Malaysia because they come to country. We have to avoid about the competition. We have to collaboration. We have to work together.
Thank you so much today for your time, Your Excellency. I think you brought up some incredible suggestions, not just for education, but also tourism and beyond. Do you have any parting messages for Malaysians out there who are watching you? Because we are also going to be celebrating our Independence Day on this Friday.
I feel like independence celebration, the meaning is only to remember that we be here because our country. So it's to refresh our memory, to refresh the love of the country. That's the meaning of celebration. So I wish the best for Malaysian. I wish the best for the government to can be better than today. It's a better country, it's a good country. I hope they can keep up to be the best country.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency.
Thank you.
So on that note, we have His Excellency Rusdi Kirana, Ambassador of Indonesia to Malaysia. I'm Tamina Kalji signing off for Bernama Today. See you again next time.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.